Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 9 of season 2 of Arcane. This is the final episode of the series. Things are gearing up for just an all-out clash between Ambessa, Viktor, Singed, their forces, and all of Piltover and Zaun together, united against a common enemy and a coming apocalypse as well, it seems. While both sides are gearing up for this eventual conflict, Jinx has kind of taken off on her own to break the cycle, as she says. What that means, what that's going to look like, I'm honestly kind of nervous to find out because I really feel like they've been setting us up for a bit of a tragic end for this character. Maybe bittersweet at best we can hope for. Also, this is the final episode of the show, or at least this iteration. We know more League shows are coming, set within this universe, and that there is the possibility for some of these characters to even bleed over into those. So whoever survives this may not be the last time we see them again, but I'm worried that it might be for some people. We'll just have to wait and find out, man. But with that said, let's get ready to hop into the final episode of Arcane. If you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes from actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on movies to react to each month. Right now, we have a poll up for what show is going to be taking the place of the bear once that comes to an end, so go check that out. It's just a great way to support the channel, help us do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate if you enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. And with that all set out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 9, The Dirt Under Your Nails. Here we go.
I've held on for as long as I can.
God, her hair is wild.
I've been strong every day of my life. If she was
Oh, I thought she was in Silco's office. She's gonna burn it down. Yeah. There goes the bar along with it. Oh.
Fight or protect. Maybe
bringing it right back to the beginning. Oh! Oh, Ekko! Oh!
Get out of here, Ekko.
She was gonna do it. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Oh!
I just want to talk to you, pal.
I wasn't sure if that was going to be a Marcus moment or not, so she keeps trying to off herself. It keeps getting a little closer each time, it seems like. Damn it, 4 seconds and that's it. That's all we got.
I'm just gonna sit here a minute. I'll catch my breath.
Damn.
See if I can talk an old friend out of blowing us up.
Aww. But she did. She cut her hair, too.
I'm tired of talking.
No!
Oh my god.
I learned from someone very special. No matter what happened in the past, it's never too late to build something new. Someone worth building it for.
Go, go, go. Please let me go.
Fuck. God damn it, man. This show. Oh. But yeah, I don't know if I was coherent or not there in a minute, but like I was like, I don't know if this was metaphorical, her cutting the hair, if it was really happening, or if it was a Marcus moment where she's thinking about it, but it's just her in her mind. But no, she did it all. Ekko, King, coming in. Thank God he built that thing. So yeah, when she said break the cycle, she was not going to fight back, not get revenge, not whatever. She was going to walk away, in her mind's Silco's words. And that's what that looked like to her.
Viktor's at the center of all this, isn't he?
Oh.
We're meant to lose this fight.
Oh. That's his takeaway.
If he reaches the hex
He
gates,
lost in that world. He's not going to lose here. To war it is. Oh, they're using the Hex Gate to fire projectiles. I mean, that is its primary function, is sending something to another location. Eat crates, bitch! It's her again. She got so scared for a moment that it was Jinx. Oh. Uh-oh. These are her champion weapons, aren't they? Fuck! Oh! It got through, did a little damage, but these fucking runes, man.
Bold little one.
What is that? Oh. Oh no. Is that whatever Viktor turned Vander into? There's something else. Oh God. Oh God. We got shimmered up Noxians now too. Oh! Wow. Just like that. Yeah, I'm guessing that's something else. So we saw Vander's body ascend with all the others that got turned into those automatons. Oh, jeez. Weaponizing the gray. Damn. This is so visceral, man. God damn, let's go, Kate. No! That sucks. Oh, God. Who was that? I couldn't make him out. Oh, you little bitch. Wow. No wonder she was quick to fucking chest pound along with her. She's a goddamn plant.
I warned you of the hazards of professional entanglement.
Oh, fuck you. Oh! Oh!
Desperation is the doorway to oblivion, child. Let's get this over with.
Leave it in. Jinx and Ekko, Jinx and Ekko, Jinx and Ekko. Come on! Please!
I did appreciate your warmth.
Oh, fuck you. Oh! Fuck you! Let's go, Mel! Let's fucking go! God, I was about to have a heart attack. Red Bull probably doesn't help. Hey guys, Editing Omni here. I just want to kind of pop in here, and you might see me a couple times throughout this video. I'm going to try to not do it so much in the middle of the reaction, but this caught my eye, and I just had to put this in here. When Maddie pulls this trigger, I thought I was seeing things as I'm combing through this footage, but for like 2 frames, when her muzzle flashes, that bitch is smiling. In the moment, I was thinking maybe I reacted a little too excitedly for the death of another human being, but you know what? Eat shit. Anyway, back to the reaction. And this is... Yo! What do we got? What do we got? Oh! Let's go! I forgot we hadn't even seen that scene yet. Let's go! Yeah! Zon to the rescue! Eat shit, fuckers! Oh, let's go, piano boy. That's the piano player, right? Hell yeah. Support Mel. Coming in clutch. Oh, eat shit, jackass. Yes! Oh! Oh, coming in hot. Damn. This is so fucking hype. Oh, we cracked the egg. But what's in the egg? Is it game Viktor or was it a decoy? I guess this was a decoy. He's actually left it. Didn't know if he had left it yet. This is a distraction! So he could come down here. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. He's finally got it. Ooh, yep.
Despite the circumstances, Jayce, I am pleased to see you.
There must be some part of you still in there.
I am more than I ever was.
Oh my god, his face is just split and this thing just kind of like came out of it. Oh no. Here comes Vander. 3.0 at this point? What now? What did he become this time? Oh. Jesus. Oh, oh. They just took Sevika. So if they touch you, they can automatically start assimilating you.
You are no Medarda. You remember.
Oh!
Shut up and fight!
Let's go! There's 2v1. Yep. Oh! Sorry, Greg. Sucks she's going into this already wounded. Oh, let's fucking go. That is terrifying. Oh, there he goes. Oh, dude. Hey, you gotta admit, he looks kind of sick, though. Aw. Yes! Damn, man. Ambessa is a fucking beast, man. Like, there's no getting around that. Oh! maybe we can interrupt it.
It is the answer. You and I pursued all our lives. An end to cruelty, injustice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Choice is false. It is how we clothe and forgive the baser instincts that spur us.
There it is.
Death.
That laser they built in season 1 finally on his back.
Can be of one mind. United.
Oh, he just shoved them all back in. Well, it looks like they were losing power. Mal.
You fought well, child.
Oh, they're gone. She swiped them.
No! A wolf has no mercy.
Oh! 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 Whoa!
I salute you, Ambessa. For one without the gift, you were quite a thorn. What are you doing, sister?
I see your face, deceiver.
Sly girl.
Damn. Worked out. Worked out. Caught her off guard. Took her out in the moment.
You are the wolf.
And there she goes. And now they obey her? Is that how this works now? Like, I see your face, deceiver, but still haven't revealed them to us yet. But we know. I know. Or at least I have a very strong idea. That was confirmed, at least in my mind, by the credits last episode. All right, we saved Vi from being assimilated. Lovely, gravity seems to be real weird in here.
Still don't get it, huh, sis? I'm always with you,
No.
even when we're worlds apart.
Stop this insanity, Viktor.
That is precisely my intention. Your eyes won't lie. When your mind is old, Jayce.
Oh no.
Vander. Dad?
Not this time. Oh! Holy shit! Fuck. Uh-oh. Ride the rocket. Nice. Dude, this is so cool. Oh, she did the conversion. God, I love this muffled sound. Don't mind us. We're going up. then it's Jayce on top of this again, facing off against his final opponent.
The sublime intersection of order and chaos.
Oh, Ekko? Or, oh no, it started. Oh! Oh! Wow, she was able to dodge that. Well, fuck. Wake up, buddy. Hopefully it hasn't been 4 seconds. Hey! Oh, finally! If that's what I think it was. Maybe this is effective, whatever this is. The pixelation? Damn. Whoa.
This is what you see.
Whoa.
This conflict, this senseless waste. I know their minds, Jayce. They want better lives, but emotion clashes with reason. Humanity's self-corrupting contradiction.
You've always wanted to cure what you thought were weaknesses. Your leg, your disease, but you were never broken, Viktor. There is beauty in imperfections. They made you who you are, an inseparable piece of everything I admired about you.
Let's go, Ekko. He's finally got his sword. Let's fucking go, man. Oh, god damn it. Almost. Let's try that again. Again, till you get it right. Oh, God, this is sick. Oh, they took it off of him that time. Shit. Oh, there we go. No, yeah, he's been held here too long. But is he gonna push it further than that? Yeah, he's gonna put it up past. Whew. Oh! What the fuck does that do?
That device can't be.
Can't be what? Oh. Oh.
I thought I wanted us to give magic to the world. Now, all I want is my partner back.
Why do you persist? After everything I've done.
Because I promised you. Why did you ever give me this? Why?
Oh, right. That's what he meant. He gave it back to him in their apartment, in his apartment.
I thought I could bring an end to the world's suffering. But when every equation was solved...
Oh, both times.
were fields of dreamless solitude. There is no prize to perfection, only an end to pursuit. In all timelines, in all possibilities, only you can show me this.
Wow.
You must go, Jayce.
We finish this together.
This is beautiful. Oh, it's like them in their lab when they first stabilized their gemstone. And all this is happening in a moment. Wow. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh.
Hurry, you can make the other ledge. What are you?
She's gonna go down with him. It's not gonna be Jinx, it's gonna be her, like in the other world.
You can't save him.
Aww. Fuck. No. No.
Always with you, sis.
If I could just lay my head down and rest. If there was nothing to fight or protect, maybe then I could finally be free. Maybe death is like falling asleep. This world is a wasteland where nothing can grow. I used to have
Oh.
strength, but I it's my fault that I'm here alone. This world is a wasteland. Please let me go, go, go. Please let me go.
You may read about the war in Piltover, but history is made palatably abstract for its truth, the agony of every sacrifice,
Oh, everybody's names that was lost.
the exaltation of every triumph. Is more than one should bear. We, whose decisions led us here, will carry them forever.
Sevika's on the council now.
Every loss, you found some good, some light,
Oh,
worth gaining.
he did get to do it before Viktor passed. Oriana has entered the equation.
And though we are doomed to revisit the error of our ways,
Oh,
spark ever more conflicts.
what was that?
isn't over.
Yeah, the world continues. Caitlyn entering her pirate era. Aww. She's investigating the possibility that maybe she could have survived. Looking at the air ducts down in the hex gate.
Is that singing?
It's just a tune my mother used to hum.
Are you still in this fight, Violet?
I am the dirt under your nails, Cupcake. Nothing's gonna clean me out.
Aww. Had to hit us with that little flicker at the end too. Damn, man. What an emotional close. Definitely bittersweet there in the end. Because the door's still open. They didn't close the possibilities for us there. You know, like, sure, Jinx took the plunge and we saw the explosion. But I don't know why else Caitlyn would be investigating the schematics of the hex gate and looking specifically at the air ducts, you know, and then we had, as that airship was flying away there at the end, just before we cut to black, one of Jinx's classic signature flickers on the screen. I think they're leaving the possibility open that she survived, persisted all the same. It's like Luke falling down the shaft in Bespin. She could have just went right into one of those air ducts, survived the impact. She is shimmer infused, so she's more durable than most. So the possibility is definitely still there. Because I think that after Ekko's speech, like, she finally found kind of a reinvigorated purpose in life, or at least a spark to go out and maybe pursue these things, to break the cycle, to walk away. Because I think she had to put on that show there at the end to kind of give the illusion to Vi that she did die, so that Vi could move on. Because like she said back in the jail cell, as long as she thinks she's out there, she's going to always keep chasing after her. She's never going to give up on her. So she needs Vi to think she's dead. This is finally her kind of taking her life back, almost. I think it also is kind of funny because when you look back, you know, her Jinx curse, every time she tried to intentionally check out, something interrupted that. The Sevika plan down in the gray with the pipes at the Janna temple fell apart. Did not go according to plan. I think she wholeheartedly expected to die there. And then every other moment after that, where she tries to put herself in a dangerous situation, hoping kind of not to come out of it, and then just straight up pulling the pin herself at the start of this episode. And Ekko shows up to make sure that doesn't happen, especially after Ekko saw this other world, this other powder, and it allowed him to kind of, one, get his own spark to push back and try to change his Zon, as well as to put powder in a whole other light. He came here to reach out to her and pulled her back from that edge, and I absolutely loved that. I also wanted to kind of include here to this point as well is that I completely forgot about this little detail from season 1 where a young Powder talked about, as she's watching these airships sail away, that she would one day ride one of these, and that is the final shot of this. Poetry, man. That is fucking beautiful. Now, when it comes down to the Jayce and Viktor thing, this is the implication that I have right now, and that is the Viktor that was in the hood, the hooded mage that showed up, saved Jayce as a child, is the one from the timeline he ended up in, where Viktor succeeded. But in his success, he realized that after the pursuit of perfection, there's nothing else. There's no one to dream. There's no more progress being made. It is just emptiness and loneliness. And I think that is what clicked in his mind, that maybe this is not a great idea. So when we see him go back And with all of his power that he's accumulated by that point, he returns to Jayce, gives him that rune, and sets him on this journey. Hey guys, back again. Not only did Viktor give him that rune when he was a child and transported him to safety, he also gave it back to him another time, back when he almost gave up. When he was standing on that ledge, ready to jump, as all of his dreams and aspirations at that point felt like they were drifting away and he was going to end it all. But it was Viktor, yet again, bringing that rune back to Jayce, which is beautiful on the rewatch. And I didn't think about that until I was going through this, because they played that scene when they were trying to focus the energies of that very same rune. I don't know if the implication is that he's tried this with multiple Jayces and this is the first Jayce, or he's tried this with multiple kids, because it shows him drop the rune multiple times. Regardless, it seems like he's tried multiple times to find the right timeline and the right series of events to prevent himself from succeeding. And the only person to be able to do that is Jayce. He was the only one that was able to get through to him in the end by showing him this, and thus leading this to no longer happen here, because he was able to break through and reach out to Viktor's humanity. And together, they were able to harness their energies together onto that rune, and then they get sucked into it. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that just, they get sucked back to repeat this loop so that the world stays safe. They have to keep this cycle of events always occurring, or they just got sucked into a void or something, or they're dead. I don't know. It looked pretty gooey when they got sucked into that. So I don't know if the implication is they died in that moment, or they are just trapped reliving their cycle, from the moment that Jayce was handed that stone to this moment, and in perpetuity. They will continue doing that just so that the world stays safe. This world, at least. I guess that was the implication, because I was also kind of looking back and thinking about the previous episode, where Jayce and Ekko kind of ended up in very different places. And Heimerdinger had that line about the anomaly reacted differently around Jayce. They got jettisoned into an alternate timeline where a completely different series of events took place, and Hextech never even came to existence. But Jayce got pulled somewhere else. So unlike them, I think Jayce got pulled into the future of his own timeline while they got shoved into another universe. Viktor, or whatever, summoned him into this reality to give him this message to stop this. And then again, I think that's what Viktor was sensing. He just couldn't put it together when he was like, what is working through him? And then he was looking at the hammer, and he's looking at this. It's like, what is going on? This hammer isn't not even from here or something. What, I don't know. And it turns out to be him, him working against himself, which is kind of fascinating to see how that all unraveled. And I don't know if that's the correct interpretation, but that's kind of where my head's at right now. And this is a topic I would love to hear everybody's different interpretations and reads on all of that took place here. All the timey-wimey shenanigans. It's just so wild. And the imagery behind that, as he's quite literally, we were talking about the religious imagery and stuff like that, especially with Viktor becoming the shepherd and all that towards the end. And then quite literally here, when he finally mounts the shoulder cannon, the laser arm that they teased all the way back in season 1, because in the games, he's always had the staff and that arm that shoots the laser. And he brought that into focus, and when it was sitting at rest behind his head, he always had this halo behind him, echoing that idea that he is this angel, this bringer of knowledge, of peace, this God almost, that is unifying everybody. Behind me, through me, there will be peace. They also just announced that in the game, Viktor is going to be getting a visual overhaul across all of his various skins to kind of line up with this kind of new idea and direction for the character. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what those look like for anybody that actually plays the game. We did get confirmation, at least, that his motivation was, or his conclusion, or the solution to the problem that has plagued humanity all this time, is to deprive us of our humanity, of our individuality, our ability to choose in order to find peace. Because otherwise, we are always going to be at conflict. But that's the natural state of the world. I like that Jayce kind of called him out on it. It was like, it's because of all of those imperfections, your perseverance, your insistence, all of that heart and energy and effort, and his brilliance that some of these drawbacks became his strength. They're what kind of made him focus and hone his mind. You know, he turned towards the things he could do, and it made him do wonders. You know, he's always looking at these things as things he needs to fix rather than things that made him who he is. And that's all these little things. All of our imperfections make us who we are, make the world what it is. And that in and of itself can be beautiful, is beautiful. And I like that that's what helped kind of get through, along with this combination of efforts, you know, bringing all these different things back around. Even for the little moment to the Black Rose thing, I guess that's going to be something we kind of explore further later and maybe another show. Because we were talking about where this could branch off to, if we did have any threads left over from this, where that could lead. And I think that was purposefully led open, especially with Mel summoning the Black Rose, as they are in the middle of this 2v1 with Ambessa and still getting their asses wrecked. Given Caitlyn is injured, she did enter that fight with a concussion and a knife in her stomach because of good old fucking Maddie coming in here and being a little turncoat. Or she wasn't even a turncoat. She was just always in her pocket. A little fail-safe from Ambessa should Caitlyn not adhere to the rails that she set her on. God, gotta give it to Ambessa, man. She does think about all these different angles and whatnot, contingencies, as it were. In the end, Mel had to make the rough call. This is her mother. What's she gonna do? She gonna show mercy? No. She fucking whipped out the Black Rose, summoned the illusionary sorceress here, who, if you played the games, that title alone, which is what is listed here in the cast list as the name of this character, you know which champion that is. They keep her veiled so that we don't have an image, but Mel makes that comment when she enters their space. You know, when she comes in to witness what was happening to her mother, she says she can see through it. I can see your face, and called her a deceiver. I did like in that moment too, because it's like, I'm not going to be a puppet to you, and I'm not going to be a puppet to these mages either. But she did utilize both against one another, set them against one another to get them out of that situation. But it did result in her mother dying at the end of it, which I don't know that was exactly part of her plan, but it did catch her off, and now she is the leader of the House Medarda. Now she has taken charge of this Noxian army. You know, moment she died, leadership passed on to her. But leading up to this, speaking of the battle was epic. It was intense. The people retreating and seeking refuge in the top side as everybody was just fighting, and there was just people dying left and right, familiar faces. Even if they only had a line or two, a time or two, it was just nice seeing everybody come together. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the piano kid that kind of stepped up there when Loris went down, right? Just seeing what everybody's been doing here, seeing that there was loss on all sides leading up to this, just seeing that at the end of the day, everybody was willing to set aside their differences to defend this place, to keep them all from falling. I love shit like that. I will eat it up. But when everything started to take a turn and enter this area where it's starting to look a little bleak, you know, as Ambessa's gotten the best on Caitlyn and them because of the way she's kind of planned everything and their artillery and just all these little machinations she set in motion, thing she didn't count on was our Undercity kids. Who shows up at the end to save the day in her fucking blimp is Jinx and Ekko and the other Firelights coming together, unified. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's pull an Ekko. Let's go back to the beginning. She's breaking the cycle as she set out to do. She goes back to the last drop, starts setting Silco's office ablaze, setting the bar ablaze, letting all of that burn. And she was going to go back down to her little fortress and take herself out of the equation. She was going to walk away, quote unquote. And just as she pulled the pin and started to explode, Ekko rewound time. He came in, the lessons learned from that carried over, and it was Ekko that pulled her off the ledge. She kept trying. He kept rewinding. He started getting wounded a couple times because it was getting a little close. But he eventually was able to talk her off the ledge because of what he got to see from that other world and how that helped. And it almost makes me feel like that's part of Viktor's grand plan at stopping himself at the end of the day, was maybe they were purposefully sent there to set up and tee up that decision by Ekko. I don't know if he was solely manipulating Jayce for this end, or that just happened to be part of the inevitability. I don't know. But the fact that Ekko was able to see through to her and talk to her and get her to come back, and then once they kind of entered the fray, they pick up Vi, and the 3 Undercity kids are together fighting for both cities. And it was just wonderfully done. The choreography, the music, the spectacle of it all is just fantastic. The show is just beautifully haunting to look at it sometimes. As much as it is gorgeous, a lot of the time with the imagery, especially when they kind of get into these grander, larger than life kind of concepts and try to visualize that, it can get real visceral, down and dirty and gritty when things get wild. They even bringing back the gray into the mix, using that and weaponizing it throughout the fight as well. A lot of things from previous episodes just coming around full circle in this. The training that Ambessa imparted into Caitlyn. All throughout this season, there have been so many little seeds that have been set, watered, and planted, and we didn't know when those were going to grow, when those were going to pop up and bloom and blossom, and how that was going to play and factor in. And everything came to a culmination, to a head in this episode. I was talking about how do we wrap all this up in 3 episodes, but I think they did it. I think they really, really did it. I think they did the impossible and made this work. This was so beautiful. And what initially was this bridge that separated these 2 cities is now the unifying piece. And I like that Sevika is now on the council. And there was some people on the council that gave her some shifty eyes, but the fact that we are at that point, that at the end of the day, staving off all of this, brought these 2 cities together. These kids brought these cities together by fighting for all of this and unifying, looking past these barriers. And it's such a beautiful story that they were able to eventually, in one way, fulfill the dreams of those that came before. Zahn is here. They are recognized. They have a seat on the council even, and their people are free to come and go as they please. Might not be perfect. It may not be what Viktor's grand evolution had in mind, but this is better than where we were, and he kind of played a hand in that as a unifying antagonist that brought them together. They had to, out of necessity, drop all their biases and rely on one another to even survive all of this. Now, does that sustain you in the long term? No, but it at least breaks that wall down enough to where things can be open to change, to improve, gradually but surely. Is everything going to be nice, neat, and playful afterwards? No. But it's a start. After the dust settled, we did get to check in on a couple of characters. Caitlyn and Vi are officially shacking up. Vi's up there living with Caitlyn in her quarters, even feeling kind of a sense of freedom in a way she hasn't before, because she was singing, humming the tune sung to her by her mother as she's out there. And I don't know if she still thinks that Jinx is still alive or out there, or that's just something Caitlyn is kind of doing on the side as something for Vi. I feel like you wouldn't want that hope to be out there without any kind of confirmation. And that would also kind of go against Jinx's performance, That's the whole thing, is to set Vi free so that she doesn't come running after her. But I like that at least Caitlyn is still thinking about her and she's still trying to look into that. And that final little moment with them sitting there talking about if she's still going to be in this fight, because obviously the world keeps turning. There's still going to be things to worry about, things to iron out about this new relationship between the 2 cities, and wants to know if she's going to be there to help. And she's like, hey, I'm like the dirt under your nails. You're not getting rid of me. And I fucking love that. It's such a them thing to say. She's the Aladdin to her Jasmine, that street rat to that princess, man. I love it. Like, I'm that dirt you can't get rid of. She showed her that dirty last episode, man. Let's go. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I just thought that was really freaking cute, because what was the last comparison that we got for them was what? We're like oil and water. We'll never mix. But now, instead, she's this thing that will always be there. It's a fitting evolution to the relationship, and I thought that was really cute. It sucks though that Caitlyn lost her eye in all of this, but that was the sacrifice that she was making in the moment. It was that or nothing. She made a play and it worked out in the end. She sacrificed her eye to get that gauntlet off of Ambessa's arm so that Mel could take the shot and send her to the rose. I don't know that that's her aiming eye. I'd have to go back and double check, which one she actually, what's her dominant eye, which one she aims with. So I'm hoping she can still sharpshoot, or even learn just to do it with the other eye if it is that. But it does suck to kind of take that away from her in the end. But that, I think that just shows this level of sacrifice that everybody kind of had to put on the table at the end of the day. And that, I mean, she's lucky to just make it out of there with that being the only thing she lost, really, which is one kind of blessing to count there. You know, Ekko going back to Zaun with his fire reignited after his trip to the other world. I think he's going to do everything he can and in his power to keep that fight going, to keep that dream alive about building a Zaun that is better than what it currently is, rather than creating a refuge that people can come to as like a sanctuary away from all of the ugliness of Zaun. He's going to spread that outward and kind of try to make what he saw on the other side. It's just heartbreaking to see him alone in the very same spot we saw him and Jinx in that world as well. Singed ended up getting what he wanted. His daughter now has one of these clockwork bodies, as he was able to utilize Viktor's technology to bring her back to life. And I completely didn't realize this in the episode itself. In hindsight, it is very obvious because I didn't know that these characters were connected, so I didn't even think to even try to look for any kind of connections there. But his daughter is a character in the game as well. And I'll just kind of leave it at that. But yeah, man, interesting way to bring this to a close. It nicely wraps up this story, what this has all been about. And I think they did a really good job at giving satisfactory conclusions and arcs for all of these characters. Tragic, bittersweet, or otherwise. If you look at this just as itself, just as Arcane, this narrative that we've been following from the beginning to end, I think they did bring it to a close very nicely. But they left some doors open, so there's things to explore later. Obviously, there is a whole plethora of countries, places, cities, peoples in the world of Runeterra to explore, and they plan on exploring that. This is just a small part of that world. You know, we only saw like 10-ish odd characters from the game, and there are like 130 plus, something like that currently. You know, I went in when I logged into the game after reinstalling it between Act 2 and now. There's like 20 champions I don't recognize because they were not there when I played last. You know, like it just keeps growing too. And I don't know, man, I'm just curious to see where we go from here. I would not be shocked if the next story centers around Mel and the Black Rose, because I definitely feel like they purposefully left that door wide open. And obviously these characters, a lot of them are still around and kicking, so they can pop up in fun little ways. She's got her connections to the city, to some of the people here. Maybe she'll reach out, maybe they'll help, whatever. The opportunity's still there for us to at least check in on some of these characters again in the future, even if we're not in Piltover. So that's fun. And I like that. There's a lot of stuff to dive into in this world. There's so many characters, and we really just scratched the surface with this. I'm excited to see what they do next, because it seems like, you know, they officially said in a statement that they decided upon 2 seasons for this, not because that's all they could tell here. It's just because they're so excited about other stories in this universe. We're just going to do 2 seasons for this. Could we have dragged it out? Sure. That would just keep us from telling all these other stories. And I really hope they get into it. One I really want them to get into, and I don't know if we're leaning anywhere near that direction. I would love for them to touch on Leona and Diana, man. Leona's my favorite champion to play as, so I would just love to see them dive into her histories and relationships. You know, speaking of a couple of things I just talked about here, today they confirmed that Mel herself will also join her mother as a future champion. She is going to be coming to the game. And based on the abilities we saw here, I'm wondering if she's going to be like a straight mage or like a support character, because she had a lot of shielding effects, or like a combo, kind of like Lux or whatever. And if you haven't played the games, it probably means like next to nothing what I'm saying to you, but she's going to be in the game. And another piece of information that we got today, we got confirmation that there are 3 shows currently in the works, with one having been in production for over a year now already, and one of which centers around Noxus, is going to be the setting of one of these shows. So I wholeheartedly think we are going to be following up on this story and diving ever more deeply into all of that. Plus, they also let us know where the other 2 shows would be, which I don't think have even come up at all in this show. to my knowledge, to my recollection, and that's Ionia and Demacia, which again mean nothing if you haven't played the games, but opens a lot of really fun doors. Seems like my hopes that we might be exploring Leona are going to be kind of left to the wind, but who knows? I'm keeping my hopes up for one day at least. Infinite possibilities right now, man. And this team that put this together, they made a masterpiece. Everything in this show, from the visuals to the music to the acting, every component is so intricately placed and executed so nicely that everything just falls together in this beautiful package. And this show is just nothing short of just a fucking achievement, a work of art. With how successful and critically acclaimed this series is, I really hope that despite this being the closing of this story, that they don't start to like pull back on like the resources that they're giving these people, that for whatever series does come next, they give them just as much, if not more, leniency and resources to do whatever they need to do. I really hope that they make sure that whatever comes next is on the same level as this. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it there because I could probably ramble about this for just hours at this point, just talking about not just this act, but the show itself. And I'm sure there's plenty of things that I'm forgetting to talk about because this is still just coming fresh off the heels of watching this episode, and so much happened, so much has happened, and there's probably some things I didn't even notice yet as well, or even think about. So if anything I missed or anything I didn't think about, sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're carrying the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Yorick Korskov, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey L, Jake Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Watchtower. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.